couple of weeks out from the election, right? A little less than a month. And I did not anticipate us getting to this point of the election cycle and black men being the topic of discussion, but yet and still here we are. A very interesting week as we talk. So first, thanks for the time again. And I'd rather start the conversation off by asking one word to describe where we are in this election cycle, being as though that, again, the black vote is, the topic of discussion.
We're in the fourth quarter, probably on the 15-yard line.
Fourth quarter, 15-yard line.
And to push it through, VP Harris and her team are going to need to boost support from not just black men, but also millennial and Gen Z black voters, because that's where there's lagging. We're trying to combat what we call the generation gender gap in the black electorate.
Yeah. Well, I know, the topic right now, again, black men do not seem to be supporting vice president, although, we can go back and forth on what that means. She's still getting 84% of the black vote, according to Pew Research. But, let's stay right on the poll part, because you have come out with a new poll and you're kind of talking to black men about, their attitudes and what they're feeling, their behaviors, and why the Democratic message may not be getting through the way that it did in previous years, the way in, former presidential elections, one of which featuring, Barack Obama, who was in the news lately because he was, disappointed at what is perceived to be lack of voting or lack of support for Kamala Harris among some black men. But based off of your poll, right? And in your poll, you find that 73 to 10, I believe, you find that black people are still leading. Well, 73 to 18 with 10% undecided. They're still leading in this race. But what is that poll? What did you find? What's interesting about it? What needs to be said that, can really maybe support or, energize that base that she may be lacking right now amongst black men?
Yeah, so we've actually done, 11 tracking polls since last October.
Yeah.
We've surveyed more than 20,000 black voters, and we found a consistent ceiling for first President Biden and now VP Harris at somewhere between 75 to 80% support for the community overall. Now, when you break that community up by generation, the baby boomer generations and the Gen X generations, they're right where normal Democratic candidates are with black voters. They're above 85%. They're close to 90%. What's changed in this election is that the younger millennial and Gen Z voters are a larger share of the voting age population in the black community. They're not as attached to the Democratic Party as their parents and grandparents are. And so the Democrats need to sell them on why they should vote for them in a way that Democratic candidates, no Democratic candidate has had to do since the 1990s probably. And so that's why everyone is shocked that we are at this moment. But there's nothing in particular that is, wrong with black men or young black voters in general. It's just that the Democrats have not made an effective case as to why they deserve their support in the minds of these young people. Right now, someone like President Obama can scold black men and say it's about, there's no evidence of that in the polling. We have absolutely no evidence of that in the polling. We've run polls where black men are saying, sure, they like VP Harris, they respect her, they want her to do well, but getting them off the couch to vote for her, they need to be sold on that. And that's like every other, voting bloc in the country normally.